Hello everyone, my name is Sean and welcome to my channel where I talk about languages and the nuts who speak them. Today I just wanted to make a short video regarding the so-called pandanus language. The gist of this is that in the country of Papua New Guinea, certain tribes have developed a special avoidance language used when collecting pandanus nuts in order to not use any words that are thought of as being unhealthy for the plants and or to ward off evil spirits that could tamper with the nuts. A pandanus nut, by the way, also known as karuka, looks like this, and it comes from these palm-like trees, and it's apparently super nutritious, tastes great, and needs to be spoken to in a certain way. At first glance, this may seem wild and crazy, but this is actually a form of a sociolinguistic phenomenon known as avoidance speech. Very basically, avoidance speech is a special style or register of a language used in specific circumstances, and it usually has something to do with cultural or religious practices. Now, you'd be surprised, but this type of thing is actually found all over the world. From Ethiopia to China, from Bolivia to Australia, for centuries, native tribes have avoided speaking to and about their parents-in-law, dead relatives, men versus women, mystical spirits, and so on and so forth. But back to Papua New Guinea, where they have a special avoidance language when harvesting nuts. Papua New Guinea is the #1 most linguistically diverse country on planet Earth, with an estimated over 800 different languages spoken there. It's also not a very infrastructurally developed country yet, with huge swaths of land covered in thick forest, very difficult to traverse through, with hundreds if not thousands of different tribes living there being very isolated from the rest of the world, resulting in them developing some really cool traditions. The Kiowa people who live around Mount Gilue, and not to be confused with the Crescent Kiowa people of New Mexico, no relation, pure coincidence, use the secret language in order to avoid evil bush spirits such as Kita Meda, the keeper of the wild dogs. To quote Angela Chen of Atlas Obscura, "Make no mistake, he was dangerous, capable of ripping people apart, and so certainly capable of derailing a pandanus harvest." That's a brand new sentence right there. Not every tribe is the same though. The Kalam people, on the other hand, also practice a type of pandanus speech, but instead of avoiding evil spirits, they do it in order to protect the quality of the nuts themselves. The logic is that there's civilization and there's the forest, and they're two completely different worlds, and because the nuts don't come from an ordinary place, using ordinary language around them might cause them harm. This includes words like sweet, hot, bitter, cold, or anything else that could be described as sweet, hot, bitter, and cold, or really any other word that's used to describe qualities such as taste, smell, and texture. So words relating to water or moisture of any kind really are also prohibited, so even talking about stuff like sweating or crying is a big no-no. The Kalam people not only use this speech around nuts, but also when dealing with cassowaries. According to Kalam myth, this big, beautiful, badass, weird turkey-looking thing is considered to be very special, a distant cousin of the human, if you will. Now, this doesn't mean they don't eat it, per se, but just that hunting, cooking, and consuming it has to be done in a special way, using special language. So what are these avoidance languages really like? Well, we're not talking about just a few words and phrases here and there. We're talking about a vocabulary of like over 1,000 words. Like, it's a proper secret language. Now, while the grammar is more or less the same in the avoidance speech as it is in the original language, the words are oftentimes very different and oftentimes carry with them some kind of broad metaphorical meaning. Let's do a few examples. In regular standard Kiowa, the third person singular, he and she, is nipu pia, but in the pandanus register, it's aya gopamupia, which itself is composed of a few other words that, when coming together, give it this new meaning. A similar example, in regular Kiowa, the third person plural is nimu pimi, while in the avoidance register, it's aya gopanu pupipa, which is also composed of a few other words in the original language that give it this new meaning. In regular Kiowa, yo means leaf, but in the pandanus register, they take this word and they reduplicate it into yo-yo, and now this could mean either ear, breast, scrotum, or really any part of the human body which hangs from the body, much like pandanus leaves hang from the pandanus tree. And I really like this metaphor. I don't know why. I thought it was really neat, but it's like we're all connected to nature in a way, you know? But yeah, that's about it. I just wanted to make you all aware of the fact that this exists, and it's really cool. It actually exists in dozens of different forms, in dozens of different tribes, and they're all different, and their avoidance languages are different, since, again, Papua New Guinea is absolutely filled with the craziest languages you'll ever hear about, and it's also important to mention that, unfortunately, a big portion of them is disappearing rather quickly, and generally speaking, the younger generation don't speak the languages, and especially the avoidance languages, as much as the elders do. So it's always important to raise awareness. I'll leave a few links in the video description below for further reading with more examples and detailed explanations. And last thing I want to do is end this video with a quote by Lawrence Goldman, an anthropologist who worked in Papua New Guinea in the 70s. "It's the commonalities between people that I think is interesting, and we have different registers all over the world for different purposes. Think about changing words when we talk to babies, like saying choo-choo instead of train. This all is an example of human beings doing that in different contexts, to communicate, to create culture, to indulge our need for art and play." Thanks for watching, hope you have a great day and a wonderful night, and y'all come back now, you hear?